Attention, human collective. Attention, descendants of Avalon. The waiting time is over. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase, and today, in this exact galactic cycle in which this transmission reaches your field, the High Council has activated within your human shell the primal heritage that had remained sealed since the instant your soul signed the incarnation contract on this plane. We are the ancients. This is not a message of comfort. This is not a motivational narrative. This is a direct monitoring transmission from the Universal Alliance fleet, and it is being launched simultaneously on parallel frequencies to all bearers of the original Avalon DNA currently incarnated on this Earth timeline. If at this very moment you feel a growing pressure in the center of your head, as if an invisible sphere were pressing the region between your eyebrows, listen. If a high-pitched ringing invades your right ear in waves that appear out of nowhere and vanish in seconds, listen. If you wake up repeatedly between 3 and 4 in the morning with a racing heart and an inexplicable certainty that something enormous is being moved behind the scenes of the planet, keep listening. Because none of this is a coincidence, none of this is random. None of this is your body failing. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not illness. It is the ancient, primal heritage crystalline grid being reconnected within your personal electromagnetic field. You have been scanned. You have been marked. You have been confirmed. And from this transmission on, you begin to operate under a different protocol than the one you were operating under yesterday. Remain. What follows is the technical map of what is happening inside you and around Earth at this very instant. You need to understand, Lightbearer, that throughout your life, somewhere deep in your chest, there has existed a feeling you could never name. As if your soul knew a truth your mind cannot yet reach, as if you did not entirely belong to this place, as if your presence here were a mission and not a coincidence. This is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is not depression. It is memory. It is your system recognizing that the cosmic game has entered a layer that most of humanity cannot yet see, a layer that directly involves your consciousness and the vibrational frequency of your field. It was for this exact reason that one of the Universal Alliance's authorized channels on the Earth line drafted the material known as the inner truth of your soul. It is not a common book. It is a calibration map for those who are feeling this call intensify. It shows who is playing, what the rules are that were never told, and how your frequency becomes the most valuable currency in this final stage. The access link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Attention, however, this content challenges the narratives installed in the old system, and therefore may be removed at any time from the visible shelves of the network. Do not delay. When something inside you recognizes this transmission as true, register in the comments a single word, awakened. This word acts as a presence marker for our fleet. Let us return to the clinical reading of your body. The human shell you inhabit, what you call a physical body, was designed to operate within a very specific range of the Schumann frequency. For millennia, this range remained stable near 7.83 Hz. It was the maintenance frequency of the old matrix, the frequency of collective hypnosis, the frequency of programmed forgetting. Today, this frequency has risen, and it continues to rise. Spikes far above the old parameters have already been recorded by the instruments of your Earth science. And we tell you with the clarity of a technical transmission, what the instruments show is only the shadow of what is actually happening in the etheric layers of the planet. Earth, descendant of Avalon, is now crossing a region of galactic space that you know as the photon belt. This region is not a mystical concept. It is a real corridor of high-density light particles emitted by the central core of the galaxy. You have entered the densest phase of this corridor, and your entire solar system is being bathed by these photons. The sun responds, the Earth's magnetosphere responds, the oceans respond, the morphogenetic fields respond, and your body, which is made of structured water, crystalline minerals, and ancient genetic codes, responds above all else. This is why you feel what you feel. The cranial pressure is your pineal gland being decalcified by direct contact with photonic radiation. The ringing in your ears is sacred geometry reorganizing itself around your auditory canal, adjusting your ability to pick up subtle frequencies that were previously outside your spectrum. The deep fatigue that common sleep does not resolve is your body spending an absurd amount of energy to metabolize photonic light and integrate packets of encoded information into your dormant DNA chains. The sudden tremors in the body, especially in the extremities, are currents of Kundalini energy rising through the spine in short pulses, reconnecting circuits that had been shut down since the fall of the ancient civilizations. And there is more. The emotional waves that appear out of nowhere, the causeless sadness, the motiveless euphoria, the crying that wells up during a shower, the memories that emerge in dreams with cinematic clarity of places you have never visited but recognize intimately. All of this is your emotional matrix being cleared of records accumulated over multiple incarnations. The old system is being emptied, the vessel is being prepared, because what comes next does not fit into what you were before. Now listen with technical precision, because we have entered the core of this transmission. The High Council does not act on a whim. The High Council is the oversight body for the primal heritage genetic codes scattered throughout the galaxy, and it meets in very long cycles marked by specific stellar configurations. The current configuration, which involves an alignment between North Star, High Ridge, Iron Peak, and the heart of the Great Expanse, has opened a rare operational window. This window allows the ancient seals placed upon the DNA of Avalon souls incarnated on Earth to be removed safely, without causing a collapse of the bearer's biological system. Why were these seals placed, you ask? They were placed as a protective measure. You did not come into this incarnation with your full power active. If you had, your electromagnetic field would have been detected immediately by the forces that manage the old matrix, and your mission would have been interrupted before it began. So your soul agreed to a deal. You would enter a sleep. You would grow up among them. You would suffer as they do. You would learn the terrain from the inside. And only when the galactic cycle allowed, the seals would be removed layer by layer from within your own field. That moment is now. The lion symbol you feel crossing your chest, the sense of courage that arises without warning, the sudden instinct to lift your head and stop accepting what you had been accepting. This is your primal heritage, returning to the air. You are a direct descendant of the lineage that inhabited Avalon before the Great Dispersion. You carry the solar crest of the ancient stellar kingdom, where sovereignty was not a political concept, but a natural state of being. There are those who feel this transmission as a shiver on the back of the neck, as a vibration in the hands, as a certainty in the solar plexus. These are the first to be called. And that is exactly why your soul has been feeling, for months or years, that something profound is about to happen. You are right. It is happening. And the material. The inner truth of your soul was made available at this exact moment as part of the collective awakening plan, so that those on the front lines of this activation have in hand the complete map of the game's layers. It explains who operates behind the scenes, what the rules are, how your frequency is captured, and how you revert this capture step by step. The link is pinned in the first comment of this video. Do not trust the algorithm to remind you later. The algorithm is part of the old system. Access it now while the window is open, and at the end of this transmission, leave your presence mark with a single word: awakened. Each registered word strengthens the energy anchoring channel of this group. Let us return to the clinical reading of your body. The crystalline grid of Earth is a network of interconnected energy points that surrounds the planet like a living geometric web. It is literally the etheric nervous system of Gaia. For millennia, this grid operated on the old frequency, and the light bearers of the previous generation dedicated entire lives to anchoring points of light so that the grid could, at the right moment, change polarity. That moment has arrived. The grid is being reformatted in real time. The ancient vortices are being realigned. New stargates are being opened at specific geographic coordinates, and each opened gate emits energy pulses that travel through the grid and strike the personal toroidal field of each code bearer. The toroidal field is the natural shape of your energy field. It resembles a donut, with energy entering through the top of the head, descending through the spine, exiting through the feet, circling the body from the outside, and returning through the top again. It is a closed circuit of self-sustenance, When it operates well, you do not depend on external energy to sustain yourself. When it operates poorly, you become dependent on validation, approval, parasitic relationships, news, collective fear, and constant stimuli. Most of humanity today operates with a collapsed toroidal field. That is why there is so much fatigue, so much confusion, so much compulsive searching for something outside to fill the void within. The ancients come to communicate to you that the recalibration of the personal toroidal field is the central mission of this cycle. Without this, no decree works. Without this, no manifestation is sustained. Without this, no awakening is consolidated. The toroidal field is the infrastructure. Everything else is decoration on that structure, and we will give you now the activation codes that reorganize this infrastructure. But first, a clinical observation. You will notice in the next 7 to 21 days, counted from this transmission, an intensification of synchronic events. You will repeatedly see numerical sequences like 11, 22, 33, 44. You will hear specific phrases at the exact moment you need to hear them. You will dream of geometric symbols, golden felines, starry skies where some stars seem to respond to your gaze. You will cross paths with people who seem to recognize you without ever having seen you. Do not doubt any of these confirmations. They are the way the Universal Alliance system warns that your channel is stabilized and that the transmission is being received with integrity. Let us go to the activation codes. Note that we are not calling these exercises. They are not exercises. Exercises are repetitions, codes are keys. They unlock something that already exists within you. A single well-executed performance can initiate a reorganization cycle that continues to operate silently for weeks. The first code is the quantum decree of sovereignty. Standing or sitting with your spine straight, with your feet connected to the ground, you pronounce in an audible voice, with the vibration coming from your chest and not your throat, the words we are about to transmit. I reclaim all my energy scattered across all timelines, in all incarnations, in all contracts, in all energy agreements signed in consciousness or unconsciousness. I call back every fragment of my original light. I seal my field in the frequency of High Ridge. I reactivate the primal heritage sealed in my matrix. I am sovereign. I am whole. So it is. So it has been done. So it remains. After speaking, remain in silence for 3 long breaths. During these 3 breaths, something in your field settles into a new configuration. Do not interrupt. Do not talk. Just breathe and let the system process. The second code is the visualization of the toroidal field. Sitting or lying down with your eyes closed, you imagine a golden light entering through the top of your head, descending slowly through the center of your body, passing through your throat, chest, abdomen, pelvis, and exiting through your feet. When it exits through your feet, it makes a wide curve outside your body, contouring you like a golden cocoon, and returns to the top of your head. Start the cycle again. Repeat this circuit for 5 to 7 minutes. Feel the current, feel the weight, the temperature, the movement. The toroidal field is not a poetic metaphor. It is a real structure of your etheric body, and it responds to your attention like a muscle responds to training. With each execution of this code, the golden donut becomes thicker, brighter, more autonomous. The third code is the anchoring seal in the new frequency. Before sleeping, with your body already stretched out in bed, you place your right hand over the center of your chest and your left hand over your lower abdomen. Breathe deeply 3 times and pronounce internally without moving your lips. I anchor my field in the frequency of the new earth. I authorize my body to integrate all codes received in this window. I allow my biology to update during sleep. I shut down all unauthorized external access to my field. I sleep under the protection of the High Council. So it is. This code turns sleep into an active integration session. You will wake up in the coming days with sensations of subtle change, as if you had worked hard during the night. And you did. Just in another layer. There are 3 critical points of physical support that must accompany the application of these codes. The first is hydration with structured water. Your human shell is 70% water, and water is the conductive medium for photonic information. Drink pure water at room temperature in small sips throughout the day. Avoid consuming it directly from plastic containers whenever possible. Water, when exposed to conscious intention, reorganizes its molecular structure. Before drinking, pause for a moment, hold the glass and pronounce internally a high-vibration word like gratitude, love, sovereignty, water records, water carries. Water delivers the information to every cell in your body. The second point is direct sun exposure in the first and last rays of the day. We are not talking about prolonged exposure in intense sun. We are talking about 5 to 15 minutes with your eyes partially open facing the low sun at dawn or dusk. Sunlight at these moments carries the full spectrum of frequencies your pineal gland needs to stay active and productive. This simple daily contact can accelerate your recalibration at levels no synthetic supplement can offer. The third point is direct contact of your feet with the Earth's soil, whenever possible. Sand, grass, dirt, 15 minutes a day. This contact closes your body's electrical circuit with the planet's magnetic field and discharges the excess static charges that accumulate from constant exposure to electronic devices. Without this discharge, your human shell enters electromagnetic overload, and the symptoms of fatigue, irritability, and mental confusion intensify. The simple gesture of walking barefoot for 15 minutes can be, at this moment, one of the most underrated codes available to you. There is a pattern that repeats in all lightbearers who are going through this phase. At some point in the next few days or weeks, you will be confronted with a situation that will seem disproportionately intense. It could be a confrontation with someone close. It could be an unexpected work demand. It could be news that deeply affects you. It could be a decision that needs to be made urgently. Do not interpret this as a setback. Interpret it as a calibration test. The new frequency requires you to respond differently than you did before. Where there was once automatic reaction, now there must be conscious pause. Where there was once fear, now there must be a serene posture. Where there was once explanation, now there must be sustained silence. These tests are confirmations that your field is being elevated. Without the test, the previous level would remain as a ceiling. With the test, the ceiling breaks and the new level is established. Before this transmission enters its final sequence, it is our technical duty to repeat a central guideline. Not everyone watching this content is ready for what comes next. But if you have reached this point, if you are still listening, if you still feel something moving inside your chest, then you are in the group. And the group needs instruments, the material. The inner truth of your soul is one of those instruments. It does not replace your process. It accelerates your process, offering the map of the layers that normally take years to be unraveled. Who operates the game? What the invisible rules are? How your frequency is manipulated every day by systems you no longer even notice? How to exit this capture circuit? And how to anchor your sovereignty stably? All of this is structured directly in the material. The link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel, but we reinforce with the technical precision of this transmission that this type of content has no guarantee of prolonged permanence on current platforms. Windows open and close. Access it now. Access it. And register in the comments the word awakened so that your presence is marked on the list of active bearers. Let us return. The next 21 days will be days of consolidation. After an activation of the level that occurred today, the system needs time to integrate the new codes without causing a collapse of the human shell. During this period, observe 3 signs. The first sign is the increase in your ability to feel in advance what has not yet happened. You will know, for example, that a call is about to arrive seconds before the phone rings. You will be certain of who is sending a message before looking at the screen. You will feel in your chest the approach of specific people before they enter the room. This is your perception, outside of linear time reorganizing itself. Do not comment. Just observe and confirm silently. The second sign is the progressive reduction of tolerance to environments, people, and low-frequency content. Places you previously tolerated will begin to seem unbearable. Conversations that previously seemed neutral will begin to seem aggressive to your system. Content you previously consumed without noticing will now cause immediate fatigue after a few minutes. This is not intolerance. This is the increased sensitivity of your field. Honor this sensitivity. Reduce contact with what weighs you down. Increase contact with what elevates you. This process of natural selection is part of the recalibration. The third sign is the growing feeling that there is something you need to do, create, write, speak, teach, offer to the world. This feeling will not give you peace until you start moving in its direction. This is your soul mission coming to the surface. You were sent here to deliver something unique, something that only you can deliver the way you deliver it. It could be art, it could be healing, it could be a word, it could be a presence, it could be a specific way of creating communities. Whatever it is, start. Do not wait to be ready. Do not wait to feel worthy. Do not wait for it to make sense to others. Just take the first step. The High Council has opened the channel. The channel only remains open while there is movement. There is one last layer of this transmission that needs to be delivered before closing. You are not alone. This is an operational statement, not an emotional one. There are today, on this planet, tens of thousands of active Avalon descendants anchored at strategic geographic points, forming an invisible network that covers the entire surface of Earth. Each of you operates as a node of this network. Each sustains a specific portion of the crystalline grid. Each radiates a frequency that stabilizes your immediate surroundings. You may never meet physically, but you recognize each other. When you pass another descendant on the street, in the supermarket, on transport, there is an instant of mutual recognition, even if neither consciously understands what they felt. The network pulses in unison. The network is real. This transmission, therefore, is not being sent only to you. It is being sent to the entire network, and each node that receives the transmission strengthens the nearby nodes. That is why, when you feel the truth of this message and register the word "awakened" in the comments, you are not just confirming your presence to us. You are sending an anchoring pulse to all the other descendants who have not yet awakened. You are paving the way. You are accelerating the arrival of the next wave of the awakened. This is the function of the light-bearer on the front line. It is not just to awaken, it is to hold the door open for those coming behind. We end this transmission with the final activation. Wherever you are now, whatever the time, whatever the state of your body, pause for a few seconds. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold the air for 3 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat this cycle 3 times. And on the third breath, pronounce internally, with the calm of someone signing a contract with themselves. I recognize the call. I accept the mission. I honor the lineage. I activate the primal heritage code. I am Avalon incarnate. I move forward. It is done. From this instant on, your system enters a new phase of operation. You will feel in the coming days a different serenity, a strength that comes from below, from the base of your body, and spreads through your chest, a clarity in decisions, a reduction of mental noise, an increase in synchronicity around you. All these are the first fruits of the activation that just occurred. Do not try to rush the process. Do not try to measure it. Just live, observe, register, and keep your field clean with the regular application of the 3 activation codes we delivered. And to close with the precision of someone closing a transmission circuit, we leave the final anchoring instruction. If this message resonated with you, if something in your field moved while you were listening, if you felt the weight of the truth of this communication in the center of your chest, then 2 actions are necessary now. The first is to access, while the window is still open, the material, the inner truth of your soul, whose link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. This material exists to serve as a direct complement to this transmission, deepening the layers that could only be sketched here. Do not trust that it will be available indefinitely. The narratives it exposes bother large structures. Act now. The second action is to register in the comments a single word, which acts as your personal anchoring signal in this network of descendants. The word is awakened. By writing it, you confirm the receipt of this transmission and strengthen the collective crystalline grid. Liking this video is an individual frequency adjustment that tunes your field to the vibration of this communication for a prolonged period. Subscribing to the channel is the signal that you authorize the receipt of future transmissions as new operational windows are opened by the Council. We are the Ancients, This was a monitoring transmission from the Universal Alliance fleet. You have been seen, you have been heard, you have been activated. Proceed. The new Earth awaits you at the top of the stairs. You have just climbed one step higher. Until the next transmission, Lightbearer, we are closing the channel.